if you fear that you will not deal justly with the orphan girls, then marry those that please you, of women, 2, 3, or 4. But if you fear that you will not be just, then marry only one, or those that your right hand possesses. That is most suitable for you, that you may not be unjust. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're welcome to another edition of the Cover Up Show. I am Rahmat Wasim. Our quote was from Quran chapter 4, verse 4. Polygamy is defined as a mating system in which an individual has more than one mate simultaneously that can either be male or female. Polygamy is actually a generic term that encompasses the practice of having multiple mates. The more specific description is polyandry, that is having multiple husbands, and polygyny, having multiple wives. Yes, some cultures allow women to have more than one husband. Interesting cultures. Studies by anthropologists give 3 basic reasons for polygyny in birds. First, there may be scarcity of adult males. Secondly, some males may have better genes than the other. And lastly, female birds are more likely to share their partners than the males. Although plural marriage system is banned in some countries, it is however common and popular in our cultural settings as Africans and Ghanaians. Call it multiple wives, call it co-sharing of a husband. Polygyny or polygamy is accepted in Islam. Islam has stated the conditions and reasons for this system of marriage. The questions are we practicing it as Allah has ordained on us? Do we as Muslim women understand why polygamy should be allowed? And are we ready to be in a polygamous home? Join me after this. We'll be right back.
There are many skincare products in the market today, but I prefer Mercy skincare products. Mercy soap. Mercy soap soothes and cleans my body after a good bath. I cherish my skin a lot. That is why I choose Mercy skincare range as my #1 skincare product. Mercy soap and Mercy ointment. My body, my priority. Mercy ointment helps restore and shines my hair the natural way. It rejuvenates my skin and protects me against skin-related diseases. Mercy cream helps restore luster, restores my skin and is effective against acne, pimples, rashes, eczema and all skin-related ailments. For bulk purchase and more information on the product, contact Insania Herbal Drug Center on 0202 511 214 and 0243 250 702. Mercy Ointment. Discover the secret of true beauty. This advert has been vetted and approved by the Ghana Food and Drugs Authority.
Welcome back and Jazakumullah for joining us on the Cover Up Show, the show designed to demystify the personality of the Muslim woman, giving her a voice and celebrating her. Before we get to introduce our guest for today's topic, we'd like to acknowledge our sponsors: Chuchu Herbal Clinic, your ultimate and reliable healthcare center; Insania Herbal Drug Center, producers of Mercy range of products; Mercy Cream, discover the secrets of true beauty; Rami's Kids, Home and More, for the best in children's clothing and accessories; Kekau Furniture, furnishing just as you want it; and Habil's Fabric and Modest Wear, for the best in modest clothing. As I mentioned earlier during my introduction, we are looking at polygyny or polygamy in Islam. We're looking at the she side of polygamy. And to help me have this very interesting conversation is on my far right, Sister Rokaya Muhammad, an accountant, a freight forwarder, and a philanthropist. On my immediate right is Sister Hajia Rahmatu Abubakar Mahmoud Jawando, a broadcast journalist with the state broadcaster. Ladies, you're most welcome to Cover Up. And thank you very much for agreeing to come once again. I mean, when you agree, I'll be calling you. You always come for us to talk. I mean, you enjoy the conversation, don't you?
Yeah.
Today's topic is another very interesting and something that affects us as women. I said quite a few during my introduction as to what polygamy is. But in Islam, what is our understanding of polygamy? I'll start with Sister Rahmat.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh to your viewers. I would say that despite the fact that Islam has ordained that a man could marry four, as much as four wives, but then there is also something to support it, to say that it's not everybody who can marry four. The condition is that if you think you can treat them equally, even Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam couldn't. He even that he had a favorite among his wives. Come to you, the layman. Do you think you can be just more than our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? It's never so. But despite the fact that Allah has ordained that, still with a condition, I wouldn't say that it's for everybody. Because not everybody can be justice, not everybody can be fair. You can't treat all the women equally. In as much as you try your best to treat them equally, you would still have your side of short.
There could be some weaknesses in it. Sister Rukaya,
No, I think
polygamy in Islam,
yeah.
it has been accepted that males can have multiple spouses simultaneously, can marry 2, 3, or 4 as stated in the Quranic verse. But your initial thoughts?
In the 21st century, it's somehow difficult for some people because the word is just, he said, if you fear...
For the male or for the female or both?
For both. For both, I think. Some women have various reasons for not accepting polygamy. As my sister said, polygamy is not for everyone. So if you're a woman, you know that you can't accept it, then I think from onset you should discuss it with your husband. But then I think our mothers has also failed us to some extent, because as Muslim women growing up, and we know that this isn't the Quran.
It's part of us.
It's part of us. So I think if you have a daughter, you should let them know that you should teach them Islam, for them to understand that yes, you are marrying this man, but it could be that it will get to a time that he would add another wife. That wife could be your sister. She could be a widow. She could be a single mother. So if you let our children, or as young children coming up as girls, we understand this thing.
Orientation.
Yes, I think
I tend to agree with you though, because growing up, our books that we've been reading and all that doesn't support.
Sure.
And the mind is a very interesting thing.
Sure.
It only picks on what it knows.
Sure.
So if I have a certain mental picture of what marriage should be, or how marriage should be, that is what I grew up with. So I tend to agree with you. Are there any other reasons?
I think there are a lot of reasons, though she's given one aspect of it, because sometimes, the perception the man is going to create out there is also another factor that has to be looked into. Because sometimes you go, and then the way he's going to portray the first wife, she's lazy, she's this, she's that, whole lot. You, the second wife, coming in, you're not supposed to see that as something that you should accept it, because you're also a woman. You coming in as a second wife tells you that there is a possibility of a third and fourth wife coming. You should have that at the back of your mind. Definitely he would go back to that lady he's looking for to tell her what your weaknesses are. In as much as the first wife has her weaknesses, you also have your weaknesses. So don't capitalize on the weaknesses of the first wife to say that because she's lazy, she's like this, so I think I'm the best. No.
Could that be that maybe taking the decision to have additional wives bothers the man? So it's like I need to justify my
reason why I'm going for a second wife.
And also probably
it's
also difficult getting a second wife to agree totally to you. So maybe if I give you the reasons that okay, I have some inefficiencies in my home and I need someone to come and support. So I need to be creative with my convincing you to join us. Could that be some of the a possible reason why these things happen?
Gone are the days when that could be a possible reason. But today, ladies of today, we don't care whether somebody going in for a second wife doesn't care whether there is somebody first or second or third or whatever. I'm going to be fourth or whatever. I'm just going in, seeing the man as my man. When he comes to me, he is my husband. When he goes away, let him go. He belongs to all the two, the three, the whatever. So if you have that perception, then this, what a man is going to tell you about, my wife has this weaknesses and that weaknesses, shouldn't be a problem to you, shouldn't be a bother to you. All you have to tell him is that, in as much as she has her shortfalls, I also do have mine. So if you're going to capitalize on that, what is the guarantee that you wouldn't also capitalize on my weaknesses and shortfalls to tell the third wife coming in?
It's true.
So this shouldn't be a problem to the women. It should be it shouldn't be a convincing statement
for you coming in to join.
I think the men should know that as Muslims, we know that we can die at any time. And you are building marriage, the foundation of it should be strong. If you decide to have 2 wives, 3 wives, 3rd wife, or a 4th wife, you should have a good foundation that if today you are not there, your children can live in peace. Because you can die at any time. So if you go to wife A and you start saying things about wife B to her, and you come to the other wife, do you think if you die, not that you'll be accountable for this woman, it's an amana given
into your own home.
Sure, you will be accountable. So if you want to have a peaceful home with the fear of Allah, then with Allah at the center of everything, then you should do things right. You should start things right. If you want to have a second wife, tell your first wife. Let her understand. Give her a reason to understand.
Convincing reason.
Yes, like to understand that.
Then it's as if you're almost asking her for her permission. But you don't need her permission.
You don't need her permission. But then let her know. If, for instance, if I'm a man and I know that, oh, I'm a man that I think I can't be with only, I can't just have only one wife. So you know yourself as a man that definitely you want to have many wives. So you start, from the beginning, you let her know, yes, I'm a man, yes, I love you, yes, everything, I'll give you everything, but then I have seen this sister, I want to bring her in. Not because of anything, not because you are not perfect, not because you are this, but I think she also needs a husband. You let her know so that there will be love, there will be peace in the house and understanding, so she wouldn't fear. But then if from the beginning you create this kind of rivalry between the two of them, definitely you won't have a peaceful home. For instance, if I know my husband is cheating on me with another woman and he has made it clear to everyone that yes, he's comfortable with it, then I'll be there, then he'll come to me that I'm going to marry. We are human. Yes, we are Muslims. Yes, we believe in Allah. But yes, we are human. Sometimes we shouldn't be tested. Yes, Allah will test us in so many ways. But don't be the test for someone. We should all fear Allah.
Don't be the test for somebody. But we do have these challenges. You are a second wife.
Yes, yeah. Proudly
a second wife.
Yeah.
You're young.
Yeah.
You took a decision to
Bold
be a second wife.
Yeah.
You knew the man was married and still went in. Didn't you at a point feel like my coming in is going to affect a home?
Well, the reason why I never saw it that way was that I'm somebody who is busy with my schooling, my work and everything. So I don't see her as a rival. I didn't see her as a rival. I saw her as an elderly sister. Somebody that if I should be married to a single person. You know, what if I'm not there? What is he going to do? But if I'm not there now, as I'm seated here, I'm going somewhere else. I know definitely my elder sister is there to take care of, you take care of Alaji. But I saw we are even curbing him from going out, from going wayward. He tells me he's going to go out. And then I think Alaji is going to go on trek for a month or so. Do I know whom he's going with? You don't know. You're just seated there. Oh, my husband is going on trek. That's why I can't pick up phone. Haja.
Alaji said he's going to China.
He's going with you.
And he said he was going with you. Are you in China or you are in Dubai?
Thank you very much. So sometimes, our elder sisters shouldn't see the coming in of the second wife as a threat, but rather they should see her as a sister who is coming to help to shape the house, shape the man. You mold the man to your taste. Don't let him mold you to his taste, but you should mold him, because once you're two, you have an elder sister and you have a younger sister, you can help shape his life. He wouldn't end up going wayward.
That decision, I wanted to know, how easy was it?
With me, it wasn't easy from my family because they didn't want it. My grandfather never liked it. You
should at least, you're young, you're beautiful, you're
intelligent.
A young
girl like
go and have your own husband.
Yeah, why are you going in for a second? Why?
In quotes, your own husband in quotes anyway.
My own husband in quotes. And I was like, well, that is a man who understands me better. That is a man I also understand better. I would go in for a man without a wife, and I wouldn't even have the betterment, the enjoyment of marriage. But if I can go in for this man where I think he understands me, he's ready, he's always there for me, and all that, it's better for me to go that way. So my grandfather was like, no. Initially, he was reluctant. My mom as well was reluctant. But it got to a point they realized that talking to me about marriage was a no-go area because I wasn't ready to listen to whoever wants to talk to me.
Because you found the perfect person.
So if you don't want me, then I'm still going to be seated in your house. And if you think you are okay with that, let's carry on. Oh yeah, let's go. So it got to a point he said, you are growing. Well, he called my mom. You know what? It seems we are stepping on her toes. And whatever now happens to her, we would be held responsible. We would be held accountable for whatever happens to her life. If she has taken a bold decision and she says this is the person she wants to go with, let's allow her. Let's give her our blessings for us. And alhamdulillah, they've given me their blessings and I'm still enjoying it and I'm in it till death do us part, inshallah.
Inshallah. Wife number 2, so they'll do their part. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Chocho Herbal Clinic here. We are pleased to provide you with quality herbal health care. Oh, how listen.
Chocho Herbal Clinic dear. Esanse wa pomudin wa yaresa ho hia yentino. Ye wo mremo bia. Ye wo highly qualified professionals a. Wodi abef mfidie behwehwe ne yesi wa pomudin ho kwan. Ne apano aduro nso amawo. Well equipped gym a obetumi atentene umpom nso wa ha. Aha nso de ebibiduro kro gin ye desire de. Nyaminti ya de ko ade baaye no. Wo beto ma de ni gia kofi. Ye wo Suhum Highways 44.
Chocho Herbal Clinic. Somuye papa no.
Welcome back and many thanks for joining us on Cover Up Show, the show designed to demystify the personality of the Muslim woman, giving her voice and celebrating her. If you're just joining us, we'll be looking at polygamy, the she story, why Muslim women continue to shy away from polygamy, so much afraid to enter into polygamous home, either being the second person to join the marriage or the first person allowing another woman to come into her home. We've been doing this conversation with our 2 lovely guests, Sister Rokaya and Hajia Rahmatu. We'll be having a conversation on the polygamy. We want to continue.
Yeah.
We understand, yes, it's good, but we are afraid. We've discussed the reason why some women shy away from it. I want us to dig deeper. Assuming a man makes a promise, okay, I am going to be with you and I won't marry. But later, let's say 15, 20 years down the line, has a change of mind, genuine reason, meets another woman, falls in love with, and wants to reconsider his decision. And the lady doesn't understand. Is she justified not to understand her man, for taking that decision? Is that okay?
No, as Muslim, when we make promise to each other, we have to fulfill it. Maybe after 15 years, there is no child. Anything can happen. So in that case, I think you can reconsider the decision. But then if for no other reason the man just wants to have a second wife, then I think he has to fulfill the promise.
Oh, maybe a reason like I want to keep my deen, so I don't want to be promiscuous. I just want to fulfill my sunnah.
Then I think the woman has to understand him and allow him. If only he can be just. Because there are men who are living. Yes, it's not money, but the money is important. The finance aspect of it is very, very important. Then you see a man just living in maybe a chamber hall. I've seen a man in a chamber hall. He went in for a second wife, divide the room into two, and put like the two wives are in one room, and he is in another room. And when it's your time, you just go to him. When you are cooking today, then that's where, because some people are not practicing the polygamy well.
They are not means to the hijab, because there should be clear division. We should all have privacy and all that. And where do you put the children?
That's it. They think they can just do it anyhow. If you are doing polygamy, then you have to do it well, and you have to be ready. It's not something like you just wake up, yes, I can have it, it's my right, but know that right comes with responsibilities, and that responsibility you are fulfilling is someone's right.
Also right.
So you can't just do anything like that. And at the end of it, there is accountability. You account for it. So yes,
and
you are a man.
And you've already been warned that if you know you cannot be just.
Yes.
Then marry only one.
Marry only one.
Aja Rahma, we tend to bring our children, especially the female, up to accept our conditions as Muslim. We try. But how do we bring our men up to understand that if you want to marry, there should be some conditions that we fulfill as women?
You know, there is a saying that if you just want to see my lifestyle, you want to know much about my lifestyle, you should look at where I'm coming from. You should look at my background, what sort of education the sort of education I was given. You know, we tend to think that it's the duty and the responsibility of the teacher alone to teach the kids, but we shouldn't forget that it's also the responsibility of the mother to teach. You know, in as much as you're nurturing them, you should also let them have it at the back of their minds that, you know, it's part of our religion. It's a religious act that men have the right to marry for. But then
up to four.
But then we should also tell them as much as we can the conditions that comes with it. But whenever we start, like, you know, you don't have to accept this man getting a second wife, then we've created that kind of impression for them that it's not acceptable. Meanwhile, it is in the Holy Quran. They are entitled to it. So we should rather bring them up in such a way that they should have the perception that, you know, your man is entitled to 4 wives. If you're fortunate and he doesn't add another wife, then say alhamdulillah, mashallah. But then if he wants to go and then add a second wife, you should accept it in good faith.
That is for the females.
Yeah.
My concern is with the male angle. Managing 2 women. Because most men are clueless when it comes to the emotions of women.
Sure.
Seriously. When a woman is about to have her menses, it's different. During different mood. After 2 weeks to time, all the time. When she's pregnant, different. First trimester, second, so she gives it after birth. Children growing. Our emotions, I'm sure if there's a barometer reading a woman's emotions, we're going like this, flip flop. Most men don't understand even how a woman should a woman thinks. That nurturing bit. How do we put it in our men?
Not
in our as they are growing up, you know what?
Some I would say today, some of the men, guys, kids, men do understand some of the situations that our parents or we the parents go through, because sometimes you go like, mommy, what is wrong today? You look moody, mommy. So, you know, just take that opportunity, capitalize on that opportunity to educate them on that. You know, you can't just get up and just say, my boy, come and let me talk to you. But once they create the platform for you to educate them, you can use that and then educate them and tell them the changes a woman goes through.
That's a very good start, because they've seen the practical example, and that picture stays in their mind. Sorry,
I think men should also understand that when you're going in when you're going into polygamous marriage, or you're adding another wife to you, you are not only adding the wife, you have children. Do you think about the children? Yes, I know mommy and daddy alone, and today daddy said I have a new mother. Do we even talk to our children to understand that, hey, this is your mother? So I think
very right, because there's some homes when the second marriage came in, it actually affected
the children. Yes, so we should before they go into the both sides, we should think about the children more. We should bring them up to understand that, yeah, this is your mother. Today, if I'm not there, she can take care of you. And the men should do that. There are some men, they will start from day one, they will start creating this unnecessary rivalry between the wife, because they think if the women are one, they will go against him. Some of them, their minds, subhanallah. You don't know how they think. So no, if they are one, so they have to create something between the women that. But at the end of it, what do you want? What is marriage? I keep on saying, marriage is an act of worship. Do it well for the sake of Allah,
to please Him.
Sure.
But the jealousy in women, can it ever go away?
No, it can't. For that one, we can manage it as women, but we can't. It can't just go away. Yes, we are
human.
We are humans.
We're human. The jealousy aspect of it is there, but it's up to you to control it. What do I think I can do it? You know, some women just sit down, be exaggerating, be imagining things. This thing is happening in this house. Don't do that. Think about yourself. For this, I would just advise women out there, be selfish when you're in the polygamy marriage. Be very, very selfish. Always think about yourself. Once you think about the other lady, forget it.
I remember there was a lady who was going to, there's this sister whose husband is going to marry a second wife. And she was like, look, I can't just imagine him having sex with another woman. I said, you don't have to. You are just giving yourself problem. Because if you start thinking about that, you start, before you realize, you start, shaitan, he always finds ways to get to us. So if you start thinking about it, I can't imagine him seeing another woman seeing my husband's nakedness. Then you start saying, no, then you start giving yourself problem. Yes.
Headache. Because some really, it really affects some women. Some get diseases, depression, hypertension, and all, manner of things that comes with it. But really, jealousy cannot go away, and you can't really control how someone behaves, and what the person will do next. But you can control
yourself,
how you respond to it, how you react to it.
I see polygamy as the best for us. Once you live with the man under the same roof 7 days, 7 days a week, and just name the rest. You get so tired of each other. But once he goes 3 days and comes back to you 3 days, you see it like something that is so fresh. You've missed him a lot, and So I see polygamy as the best option for women. It's just that we just have a little bit of jealousy with us, but it's the best.
Would that depend on the man's schedule? As you're married to a very busy person. You yourself, hardly do you see the person. And out of the blue, the person comes back and say, I'm going to marry an additional wife.
He's busy. You have to look at the reasons why he's busy. Does that mean that he's always out of town?
No, in town, but genuinely busy. I'm working.
But working. For the working, he would definitely come home. That were 3 days, we would have it. She would also have her 3 days. He can be busy both days.
No, I think what if he's not always there? Maybe he travel out maybe 2 months, 3 months.
So once
and you know that the man is so busy that he doesn't even have time for you.
For you,
the first wife. What will you do?
You should advise yourself.
But can there ever be a situation that you go like, you know what, I can't deal with it, I want to opt out?
You can. You're free to.
But would that be the best decision?
Yeah, people would talk. People will see yourself. But you should know yourself. There are things, but we are Muslim. We are tested so many ways. But you should know yourself. This, I can't take it. See, there are things that would, yes, we all want to go to Jannah. Yeah. But there are things that you know yourself very well that this test, I can't. You should know yourself that I can't see. There are women who are very, very jealous that maybe that thing can cause her to do so many things. So just advise
that will even move her out of the right path.
Yes, but our sisters should fear Allah. Whether you are the first wife or the second wife, fear Allah. Because the things people are doing, especially women, subhanallah, if you hear it, you go like, why do you want to be so selfish and have the man? The man is not your
things.
There are people who go to this Malamboka and do all sort of things. Like I want the man to love
Charm.
me.
Are you
and
talking
look,
about charm?
Charm.
21st century.
People still do it.
You charm a
People
man.
are even charming, like they are buying it online and things.
Buying charms online.
Yes.
Fantastic. Wow.
So we should fear Allah. We should really, really fear Allah. Know
And
that
it works.
and whatever we
Charm
do
a
will be accountable
for it.
For you see, if you go to Malamboka today for him to charm your husband, for him to love you
fee.
alone at a fee, know that so far as you've gone there for
Someone also
it
has
will
gone.
No, that thing will expire.
date.
It has
Oh.
so you keep going. You
forever.
keep going.
There's a shelf life.
Yes.
And you leaving, someone also know their way. The person can also go.
Sure. So be true to
Granted, if it works, anyway.
yes. Be true to
The
yourself.
fact that if it expires doesn't even tell me, even if it works, it's
It's
not
just for a
forever.
short
It's
while.
not. It's like you know yourself. Trust Allah and be you. Be you.
Trust Allah and be you. Final thoughts. The conversation is getting interesting, but I need to take your final thoughts so that next week we can really go into the other aspects of polygamy.
Sure.
But your final thoughts.
Well, my final thought is that women, I'm pleading with you. When our men come to us to say they want to go in for second wives, please, 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 let's look at their reasons. Let's give it a second thought to see whether the reasons they've given really, really is justified. If it is, let's give them the support. Because, you can't do everything. You can't do all. Give a sister a chance.
Okay.
For me, I will tell our brothers they should fear Allah. Fear Allah. That's the only thing else. If you fear Allah and you have true iman, you would be very careful on how you do your things. They should fear Allah and they should know that marriage is a blessing and it can also be a curse.
Marriage
should
is a
fear Allah.
blessing, and it can also be a curse. Thank you so much, sisters, for joining us, for sharing your experiences and letting us feel a bit of how polygamy really is, and you serving as the voices of the voiceless. Thank you so much, Sister Rukaya Mohammed, an accountant, faith forwarder and philanthropist. We are so grateful. Sister Rahmatu Abakar Mahmoud Jawando, I just like your Rahmatu. Hajia,
Yes, dear.
I'm grateful. Thanks for
Most
joining
welcome.
us again, and super grateful for always heeding to my call when I come knocking. Before we go, let's acknowledge our sponsors. Hey, what can I do without my sponsors? Coming to your home every Friday at 9 p.m. Chocho Herbal Clinic, your ultimate and reliable healthcare center. Insania Herbal Drug Center, producers of Mercy range of products, Mercy Cream. Discover the secret of true beauty. Rame's Kids Home and More for the best in children clothing and accessories. Kikau Furniture, finishing just as you want it. And Habits Fabric and Modest Wear for the best in modest clothing. Before I finally leave you, remember that happiness in marriage is a moment by moment choice. It's a decision that you make. I want to be happy, and you're there. It is a decision to love, forgive, and grow. A friend once said that marriage is a verb. I laughed. It isn't something you get. It is something that you put action into, efforts that you make on a daily basis. Multiple, single marriages, it is with the fear of Allah and what you do that makes it enjoyable. And it will be guaranteed to be beautiful, inshallah. As I mentioned earlier, we couldn't do everything. We'll come back with the concluding part. Till then, let's do this again, same time, same place here on Cover Up Show. I am Rahmat Wasim. Jazakumullah. May Allah be with us all.